Hey guys, you already know, it's your girl Indigo back with another video, and today I am doing a video you guys have been asking me for, and you guys probably are going to think that my title is clickbait. It's not, okay? So this is going to be my experience in basic training and how everybody thought I peed on myself in front of everybody. Yeah, my soldier's beside me right now, like, what the fuck? Yes, I'm not lying. Everybody thought I peed on myself in basic training. I had the worst basic training experience because everybody thought I peed on myself in front of everybody the first day. So after the first day, the rest of my basic was horrible. And that's just me speaking on this. So let's just get into the story. So first of all, after I went to MEPS, like I said in the last video, which if you haven't seen that video, check it out. It shows my experience in MEPS. I went straight to basic from MEPS. And when you go to basic, you start off on base and they have to still in process you. So you start and they do another like in processing thing where you have to get you got to get your uniforms at last, you got to get your PTs, you got to get your at that time it was ACUs, but now it's OCPs. Like, they pretty much in process you in the system, make sure you get all your TA50, your CIF gear and stuff, and you're still considered a civilian because you still haven't actually gone through training. And during that time you have to have a battle buddy with you, but you're in civilians until you get your uniform. And it was just like, I think it was like, it took a week of just in processing to prepare to go to basic training. And during that time we could have our cell phones and it was pretty chill, it wasn't bad at all, yada yada yada. So you do stay in an open bay barracks, which means that you're going to be in a place full of bunk beds, full of people, and you pretty much get to know everybody you're going to be going through basic training with before you actually go out to basic training. So after I in processed or whatever and everything, you get your uniform and they put all your information in. This is when they give you the haircut. The guys will get these crazy haircuts. They got to get their heads shaved. The women have to make sure their haircuts are right. During this time they also decide on if or if not you'll be able to get more rank because college and da-da-da-da-da. It's like it's pretty much just like MEPS. It's like you're going through MEPS again when you're going to basic training before you actually get into the training. So when I got there, after all that happened or whatever, I'm going to tell you now, for me, I don't know if it's changed because the rules about how you can treat soldiers or anything, but my drill sergeants were assholes. The very first thing we did, okay, we got on the bus, and the bus driver had the audacity to have that Wiz Khalifa song playing. So what, we get drunk, somewhat. I know you know the song, so everybody's feeling like, okay, maybe this won't be so bad. Like, we're listening to music, we're in our what were we wearing? Were we in our no, we were in our uniforms for the first time in the vehicle. We all were scared, but we all were like not scared at the same time. Like, we didn't know what was gonna happen. We expected, you know, like the crazy scary stuff, but at the same time we didn't expect it. We didn't know what to expect. So we all were sitting outside of the barracks that we had been in processing in our uniforms with all our TA50 on us in 2 duffel bags, and pretty much we see the drill sergeants. The drill sergeants all got out of a vehicle and they all have their hats on. They're all just quiet. And we're like, oh shit, those are drill sergeants. Like, oh shit, like shit's about to get real. Like, what's about to happen? So we're sitting in there, we're looking at them, we're eyeballing them. I remember there was a female. She was so scary. She looked like Pocahontas, and her hat was so far down you could not see her eyes, but you knew she was looking at you. She was like a freaking demon. And like, everybody's just scary. Like, oh shit, okay, so now we see drill sergeants, like shit's about to start popping off. So then they're like, okay, load your stuff onto the bottom of the bus and get on the bus. Basic training started. So we load our stuff, we get on the bus, and everybody's like, oh, okay, this is about to start. And like, he had the song, the Wiz Khalifa song playing, and we're all like sitting in there like listening to it and feeling relaxed. And then this big black buff dude comes in with his drill sergeant hat, and he's like, I'm Sergeant, I can't remember his name. He's like, I'm Sergeant da 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 da, and right now, put your motherfucking head on your motherfucking seat. He just went off, and we're just like, oh shit, like everybody's freaking out, like, oh, this is happening, and like you can hear some people mumbling like, oh no, I'm not for this, and he's like, shut the fuck up, like he's going in. Like, look, during my basic training, I was all about rules. Whatever you told me to do, I was doing it. I wasn't talking to nobody. I was like, I knew how to stare in a way where like because when you get there, you're gonna see, you're not supposed to look at your drill sergeant in the eye ever. And I was so good at like having people in my face and not looking at them, because they are gonna be in your face trying to get you mad, trying to get you to stutter and talk back, and like, yo, it was intense. So he's cussing and screaming and telling everybody to get their seat, put their heads in the seats, don't pay attention to the windows, don't look out the window, da-da-da-da-da. They turn the music off and we're just like, oh shit, here it goes. So the whole ride was quiet as hell. Everybody else all fucking obviously like nervous and shit now, because okay, we're seeing what's about to go off. So we get there, they assign rooms, they assign us to our bunks or whatever, they let us eat, but they give us like 20 minutes to eat, I think. Like, they were just like on it. Like, everything we were doing was like all disciplined. Like, they were cussing and yelling and telling us to form up and da-da-da-da-da, and if we didn't listen, it was bad. Like, when we got off the bus, straight away they started fucking smoking us. We had to grab our duffel bags, have it over our heads, we had to lift them and keep them up, and they were cussing us out the whole entire time. And then they let us put them down, put them back up, put them down, put them back up, get down. It was crazy. I'm not gonna lie, like the first day, woo, it was crazy. And they in your face, they cussing, they screaming. So hey, I'm gonna let you know, what you think basic training is, it is. Might be a little worse. Like, already, like off rip, I think 2 or 3 people were already like, I'm not doing this. Like, they already were like saying, I'm not doing this, I want to go home. And it's crazy because the people who gave up that first day, even though they gave up, they still had to be there the whole time until they could go back home. So pretty much, let me tell you now, if you're not already having the mindset of you want to do this, don't go, because once you go, you're not going to leave the next day. They're going to make you go through whole basic training and then be like, okay, go home. And then you're going to feel stupid, because you're going to be like, damn, I've been here this whole time. I could have just did it. I was just being a wimp, or I was just being too fucking stubborn to realize, like, this is just how it is. So it's crazy. The people who were like, no, I want to go home, they literally were on details picking up rocks and acorns and pine cones while we were doing all the training, and they had to go through the whole training process before they got to go home. So it's like, damn, like it was just a waste of time for them. So I'm telling you now, it's not as hard as it looks, it's not as bad as you think, okay? So don't wimp out straight away. But let's get to the part where I said everybody thought I peed on myself. So we had to have our canteens in our pocket. And I was so nervous, right? Because I just didn't want to get on anybody's radar. And they were screaming, they already been screaming, shouting, all these dumb people doing dumb stuff. Like, I think some kid dropped some stuff, got cussed out, got chewed out, got smoked. Somebody was taking too long eating lunch, got smoked out, got smoked. I was just being scary, because I was just telling myself, okay, Indigo, you're not going to get on these people's radar. You're going to do what you're told, get the fuck out of here. So they had made us drink our whole canteen. And then after we drank our whole canteen, they told us to refill it, and they gave us a time limit. They were like, you need to fill this up by this time, or da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, oh shit, because he's counting down. I think it was like 10, 9, 8. I can't remember. And I'm just like, oh shit. So I'm hurrying up and doing my shit, and I put my screw on my canteen. But I did not screw my canteen correctly, okay? I screwed it enough where it held for a second, but as soon as I started moving, that shit busted. And I remember, like, okay, after we filled it up, we're all in our bays, and we're standing at position of attention while he's telling us the rules about the bays, and he's telling us how shit's gonna go. And I just remember feeling the top of my canteen fucking unleash, and I feel the water, and I'm just like, oh shit, what do I do? Like, I'm in the position of attention, mind you. This is my first day. I don't know if I can just be like, sir, or if I could just move, because I didn't want to move, get yelled at. I didn't want to say something, get yelled at. So I'm just sitting there, like, letting this water drip all over the back of my pants, the side of my leg. And it took, like, he's walking back and forth, and it wasn't until he realized there was like a puddle of water on the ground near me that he was like, what the fuck? Who are you? He's cussing, da-da-da. I'm just like, I'm Sergeant, I'm pulling. And he's just like, what the fuck? Are you peeing on yourself? I'm like, no, my canteen. He's like, what? And I'm trying to explain, but I'm stuttering because I'm nervous. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? Da-da-da-da. And he ends up making everybody leave the room, because we were in the female bay already. And he had a battle buddy stay behind as I changed my pants, screwed my canteen back up, and tried to make them I tried to tell this chick, like, because she's like, what the fuck happened? And I'm like, my canteen opened, and I showed her. She's like, oh, okay, I get it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it looked like what it looked like, so there was no going back. Like, once you have that image, there's no going back. And nobody knew what was going on because nobody was able to talk. I couldn't explain myself, so I was known as the girl who peed on herself in basic training because fucking the damn canteen. Yeah, so I that's the story I'm gonna say for that, but let's just keep talking about the experience. So after that, we went to dinner chow, and oh my god, this is what sucked the most. So during dinner chow, you have to stand at parade rest the whole time you're in line, and then you got to go into the position of attention and keep walking. Like, they're very strict about everything you do. And I remember this kid behind me kept on talking shit quietly about how much he hated it, and I did the stupidest thing ever. I laughed. I couldn't help it. Like, I was sitting there in parade rest being like, looking straight ahead, because you can't, I'm telling you, it's all about discipline. Like, you got to stand straight, still, parade rest, in line before you eat. And like, the guy is behind me like, fuck this shit, I want to go home. Bullshit. This is, yo, he's just talking shit. And I like chuckled. And yo, as soon as I chuckled, I guess the drill sergeant had noticed and was just like, aren't you the soldier who just peed on himself? Oh my God. In front of everybody. So not only did my platoon already think I peed on, not everybody who was in that damn lunchroom thought I peed on. Bruh. It was... So let's just, with that being said, it was a very awkward, it was a very awkward basic training for me because I was known as a girl who peed on herself the first day. I did not pee on myself, okay? But that's what it looked like, and there was no turning back. So the rest of basic training, what can I say? It is gonna suck. The weather is gonna be horrible. No matter where you're at, it's gonna rain. Somehow or another, no matter if it's winter, summer, it's gonna rain one of the days you're in the field. It's just, I don't know if they pick the day. I don't know if God just knows we're in basic training or what, but it's gonna rain. You're gonna be in the field a lot. You're gonna be wearing your ACH and your IOTV a lot. You're gonna be doing a lot of rucksack marches, which is where you ruck all your gear on you and you walk for 12 to even more miles to get to places. You're gonna do a lot of like training courses where you're gonna have to climb up things, you're gonna have to jump on things. There was this really fun thing we got to do where we got to climb up like a rope thing and then slide down and then zip line. It was actually pretty cool. If you're into like adventurous shit like that, you might think that shit's dope. You gotta balance a lot, you gotta do a lot of lining stuff. You do marksmanship, so they teach you how to shoot. You go to a lot of ranges. You do a lot of rucksack marches. You do a lot of fields. You run a lot. You run every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, pretty much. You do PT every day at 6 o'clock in the morning. You start off with PT. So you wake up at like 5, get prepared, be outside by 5. You got to be outside by 5:45 to start PT. PT keeps going on to like 7-ish. Then after that, it's really just training. Like after, like it's pretty much, they get you in the mindset to prepare yourself to go into the army. And it's crazy because basic training and AIT are nothing like the real army, but basic training and AIT are supposed to give you the skills to be able to be a soldier. So you learn discipline, you learn how to be on time, you learn how to eat, you learn how to be active every day. It just gets you in that mindset while they also are teaching you things you need to learn, like how to be a soldier, what's expected of you as a soldier, your core values, your army values, SHARP, EO, which, I mean, I can talk more about like the different training courses in another video, but pretty much it's like being in college but not being in college. And on Sunday, if you're religious, they allow you to go to church. You don't have your phone. You don't have your phone the whole time. You can write letters and send letters on certain days, and you get mail once a week. So it behooves you when you get that address and you post it, they give you a chance. Before they take your phones, they give you the address and they say post it or send it to your family. I would recommend you post that on all your social media. Hey, I'm in basic training. Here's the address. Write me stuff. Send it to your family. And hope to God someone sends you stuff, because I'm telling you, you get really lonely out there. It gets so bad that people end up like starting to have crushes on each other in there, which is crazy to me. Like, people will have the basic and AIT boo, that's what you call them, because they're so damn lonely. Look, This is just coming from me. Ain't no relationships working in basic and AIT, okay? It's not. It's just temporary love, okay? Because you're only in AIT for or basic for 2 months. You don't know anything. You're just lonely and going through a traumatizing situation where you're doing stuff that's hard on your body, hard on your mind. Mentally, you're alone because you're not with your family. So automatically, you just want to connect with somebody. That's just me being honest with you. So remember that. Other than that though, yeah, basic training for me was, I was the girl who peed on herself. So I can't really say, I made friends and everything, and the people who at last got to figure out, listen to me about what happened, they were like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, okay. But once that came out, and once the drill sergeant called me out for that, I could not get away from that. You will get a nickname, and basic training. My nickname had nothing to do with me peeing on myself, okay? Stop laughing at me, because everybody knew I didn't pee on myself, but just the fact that I was called out for supposedly peeing on myself did it. But I was called the chick from Popeyes. I can't remember her fucking name. What's the chick's name from Popeye? The fucking show. I can't remember. It was between being called that chick from Popeyes because I was tall and lanky, and being called a fucking avatar. Because I guess, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I was called Avatar, and I was called the chick from Popeyes. So those were my nicknames. Yo, my soldier is really over here cracking his ass up. Fuck you. But yeah, so expect that. Expect to don't have drama. There's gonna be drama because people are gonna just hate people. That's just what it is. You just hate being around people you don't understand and know, obviously. Get used to that. That's the Army. You're always gonna be working with different people, different races, different cultures, different mindsets. What else can I say? Oh, there is every week, because there's phases. I think it's red phase, blue phase, white phase. I think those are all the phases. Is it only 3 phases? Yeah. So there's red phase, blue phase, white phase. Red phase is the hardest and most intense. Blue phase, they start slacking a little, but it's still pretty intense. And then white phase, they're pretty much really lax, and they expect you to know everything. And you do have to take a PT test. You take, I think, 2 of them. The first one's just to see where you're at, and then the last one you have to pass, or you could end up being a holdback, which that's another thing. If you fail at something, you fail a class, you fail a training course, you fail at the range, you fail a PT test, you're going to end up being a restart. They don't kick you out. They're going to just make you go through the training again. So you'll end up being in basic training for longer than 2 months. Some people were in basic training for 4 or 5 months. And I'm like, oh my God, because they kept on failing. They kept on messing up. So they kept on retrain. So make sure you already are prepped and ready to know I have to fucking pass this shit so I don't have to stay here. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I really have to say about basic. If somebody sends you mail and it has candy and shit in it, don't even because they're gonna open the mail in front of everybody, and if there's candy or things that they feel like you aren't supposed to have, excluding pictures, they're gonna keep that shit themselves. So when your mom tries to send you some candy bars, some junk food, guess who gets it for real? Your drill sergeant. So don't even send that stuff. Don't try to bring no perfume, no extra stuff trying to smell good and stuff. Nope. You can bring your own tampons. You can bring your own running shoes. You can bring your own deodorant. You can bring stuff like that. But when it starts becoming stuff that's just like you trying to be cute or you trying to smell good, nah, they gonna throw that shit out. So don't even try it. Yeah, I think that's all. It's pretty much everything, right? Is there anything else to talk about for basic? Really? I think that's it.
Fraternizing.
Oh, fraternizing, which I already told you about. Don't even do, it's just whack because there's only 2 months there. But if you do get caught fraternizing, you will restart. So understand, if you get caught fraternizing, you'll either restart or get kicked out. I can't remember. I remember one person. I don't think I had anybody who got caught fraternizing in my group. But if you get caught, you'll either restart and have to start over again, or you're gonna get kicked for it. But I just know when you become a restart, and that happens if you get hurt too. So if you become a restart, everybody's going to know you're a restart, so you're already going to look like a shitbag. And there's no way you're going to be able to be on the special list, the top student list, because they do lists and stuff where you can see if you're the best soldiers get promoted and the best soldiers get awards and stuff like that in basic. You won't be getting none of that. And then on top of that, if you get started over, everybody's just gonna know oh, they've already been here this long, I wonder what they did to fuck up. You know what I mean? So try just to go through it and not be a fuck up. I feel like I really said everything I need to say. But if you guys want to ask me more, obviously comment below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And yeah, thanks for watching. And I did not pee on myself. I preach this all this. I did not pee on myself, okay? But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace and hair grease, guys.